In this video, I'm going to show how to create an assignment in Google Classroom in ways where either you just create the assignment and the students do it and turn it in, or also how as a teacher you could upload a template where each student has a copy. So I'm in my classroom. I'm going to click on classwork and I'm going to create an assignment. When you create an assignment as the teacher, you can let your students know how their assignment will be evaluated by adding a rubric. That's a new feature in Google Classroom. You can also just make the assignment for certain students. So if you had certain groups of students, you could uncheck your class and select, the student you were going to give this particular assignment to. So you may have, 5 students reading the same book and you want them to be able to have certain resources for that book. You could do that. You can also put your point values, your due dates, and assign it a topic right now. Although if you don't have a topic yet, you can always move assignments around into different topics by dragging and dropping them. You will have to give your assignment a title. I'm not going to have very original titles for these. And any instructions that you would want your students to have about that assignment. So you may give them a prompt, whatever that might be in there. You can also add resources for your students. So if there is a link you wanted to provide them to a website or a file that you wanted to give them that you have stored on your computer, you could do that. You can also add anything from your Google Drive as well. And you can create something in the moment. So if you didn't have anything created yet, you can just hit the plus button and create that assignment right in the moment. I already have an assignment template that I've started to create. By the way, you don't actually have to add anything. If you just want to provide them instructions for a writing prompt, you can do that here, and then you could tell students to add their own Google Doc, or students will also have the option to just hit create, which you'll see in a moment. So you don't have to have anything to upload to create an assignment, but I know that most teachers usually do have resources associated with the work they're assigning, and so that's where adding or creating will come in handy. I am actually going for this example, go ahead and add a document I have. So you can see I've actually started this example template. And keep in mind, a template would be maybe something I wanted students to be able to type into, and I would want to see their work while they're working, or I would want them to turn this into me. Google Drive or Google Classroom works really well with all the Google stuff. So this is a Google Doc where I have maybe a prompt and a box for students to type their response. This is really nice because if they have a paragraph or they hit return, like it's going to have their text move down. So a little trick that I do whenever I create templates is I will put my prompt here, and then right below that I will insert a table, and I'll use a table as a way to put little boxes for students to type in. It just helps keep the document clean. This would be just a one cell table, and then it gives them a spot to type in. You can also click on the little arrow next to that and change the way the border looks. Change the color. And if you right click on the cell, you can also go to your table properties. Sorry, that was my cat feeder going off. You can go to your table properties and click on your cell background color and change the background of the cell as well. So sometimes just making, all the boxes where the students type in a different color can also kind of help. And you can format their text. So if you wanted all the student writing to be in blue and in a different font or something, you could do that as well. So I have my template. It's really rough, I know, but for this example, this is what I'm going to upload. So I'm going to go to my assignment. I'm going to click add. I'm going to go to my Google Drive and I'm going to find that example template. And I'm going to add it. When I add this template, and this is only when you're creating the assignment for the first time, what you're going to do is choose whether or not students can just view the file. Maybe you only want them to look at it. You can choose whether they can edit the file. If you choose edit the file, that means every student will be able to type into that document, which might be what you want. But most of the time, you might want students to just have their own copy. So make a copy for each student is an option as long as you haven't already assigned the assignment. Once you click assign, you cannot change this. So if I wanted every student to have a copy, then I would choose that setting. And then you do have the option to click assign, or I can schedule this to go out, which is what I would recommend to do. Or you could save this as a draft. If you assign it, this will go into the stream as almost an announcement that an assignment has been created and students will get a notification. So I would recommend, if you don't want students to see this right away, that you just schedule it or you save it as a draft. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and assign it because I want to show what the student side looks like in a moment. So I'm going to click assign. I'm happy with these points. You can also make things ungraded. You don't have to give things a grade. You can just make them ungraded or give them feedback with it this way. I'm just going to make it worth like 5 points or something. I don't know. Okay, you can set a due date on this as well. So I'm just going to pick a due date tomorrow. And I could say no topic. I could create a topic, or I could put it under a topic that I already have. And I can add a rubric, which is really nice. So for the brevity, I'm just going to go ahead and click assign, and that's basically how an assignment gets created in Google Classroom. So now you can see that assignment is here. It also put that in my stream, and students received an announcement in their email.